Hello, welcome here in the CAYDEN'S Weather Center. Right now, today is October 19th. We are paying attention here to the severe weather threat that will be continuing on in New Mexico here and possibly a little bit into southern Texas. And we're going to talk about this a little bit here, or what you kind of can expect for the next couple of hours here going in throughout the evening to the overnight hours here. As of right now, early this morning, we can already see Colorado starting to get some of those heavy rains, with some of the storms actually starting to push up over here into the southern part of Colorado. Central New Mexico is getting that storms right now, a little bit of rain showers, but our biggest severe weather threat is in this part right here. That's our severe weather threat. So right now, as you can clearly see, very clear, maybe a couple little spotty rain showers here at some moments, but as of right now, it is very clear here in New Mexico. And it's very clear as we talk about, where the severe weather side is going to be, which will be more on the eastern part here of New Mexico. We'll see that heading into a little bit more of southern Texas as well, close into the Mexican border there. But the slight risk that we can clearly see is in this yellow area right here. Population is around 152,000 people in this population right here for that slight weather risk. And that does bring a tornado risk here of around 5% in the eastern part of New Mexico here, a little bit into the central part as well for 2%, and into southern Texas 2% as well. And if you don't know exactly what the percentages are, this is a probability of a tornado within 25 miles of a point right here. So obviously it's very, very slim still for this, but still can't rule out a couple tornadoes, a couple tornado warnings as well. The wind is a little bit more of a higher chance here, 15% there for the wind in the eastern part of New Mexico. Then you head into the hail risk, same kind of area right here, pretty similar to the wind threat. So so we could be seeing some pretty big hail up to possibly 2 inches in diameter, and then some very strong gusty winds, maybe even up to 70 mile an hour later on this evening. Taking a look here at the future model for the future radar, we can clearly see over the next couple of hours later on this evening, that's when we'll start to see some of those snow. We see a little bit of the snow showers kind of going on in parts of northeastern Arizona, but then we see a little bit more of those storms start to form right here in New Mexico, and that will kind of blow up as we go on throughout the rest of the night here. So 7 p.m. here, we can clearly see the northern side of the storm will have that snow, but really majority of those storms will be off down to the south and to the north part of the system here, and we'll see it kind of push off to the east, but really start to explode as we head into the overnight hours. We can clearly see extend itself already into parts of southern Colorado, and then that is when the storm will continue to push up over here to the east, and we will see a little bit more of that severe weather threat continue on right here. Obviously, this isn't no major severe outbreak, so that's good news right there, but definitely have a possibility for a tornado, a quick spin up for a tornado, or possibly some pretty strong storms that we could be seeing here, bringing some gusty winds and some large hail. Then we continue to watch this dissipate as we go into tomorrow morning. That's why we don't have too big of a severe weather threat over here in this region, but we do actually have some snow showers that could be expected here in parts of southern Colorado, and then maybe even a little bit into Arizona heading into tomorrow morning. Then those snow showers will leave later on in the afternoon, kind of head into parts of Utah, and then it'll be really some scattered snow showers going into tomorrow night here in Colorado. But other than that, no big issue. Maybe a little bit of rainfall that goes on, some pretty heavy amounts of rainfall could go on in Oregon, Idaho, Montana, and Washington later on tomorrow. Then let's take a look here at the lightning strikes. What are we expecting here for the last 12 hours? We've seen already a lot of lightning strikes from a couple storms that we've already been seeing, in New Mexico. I mean, we've been seeing these storms, and we just looked at them on radar. We can clearly see that we've seen a lot of lightning strikes already continue on from this. So obviously, lightning will probably be more extended into this over here into the overnight hours. But make sure, especially if it's storming, make sure to be inside here. You don't want to be near lightning, obviously, with this storm. And even though we're having that severe weather threat, and it's not too big of a severe weather threat, that still brings lightning, still brings gusty winds. It's very dangerous, but the lightning has been already going for the past couple of hours, the last 12 hours at least. We've been seeing a lot of that. Heading into the the possibilities for rain chances here for the next 12 hours, you can clearly see the heaviest of rain chances continuing on. We got some areas that do and that are reaching up to 93% chance, 92, 93% chance here of rain in southern Colorado, going into eastern New Mexico and parts of even maybe Texas here. Then down here in the eastern part, 75-77% chance here of rain. That will bring in that severe weather threat here. The 24 hours mark, though, we can clearly see that's when those chances go up a little bit more over here in the eastern part, and that's kind of when we're starting to see that the biggest severe weather threat moving in here, reaching up 92 to 88% in some areas here in the next 36 to 2 days. Right now we can see these will start to go down a little bit more with the rain showers, but really starts to go up over here in the Midwest, or not the Midwest, the Northwest here of the United States, reaching up into the 100% chances here for Oregon, as we'll be seeing that huge rainstorm kind of heading into the United States here. They'll go in throughout 60 hours, 3 days, 4 days. That's when we'll see it kind of move off into the Canada region, but still a little bit of that rainfall continue on in the northern United States here. Taking a look at the GFS model, we can clearly see, though, that's where we're going to see that severe weather threat later on today. We're going to see a little bit more of that, and that's what we're going to see right there. You can see the GFS did pick up on the severe weather threat, but a little bit of snow over here in the Canada region. That will eventually make its way into the United States here, and we'll see a little bit of that kind of a little scattered snow shower. So not like the whole snow system, but a little scattered snow showers could happen in Montana and maybe in parts of Washington as we head into tomorrow and into the next day after that and onto Monday. Then we don't really see a lot going on as we start to see a very, very big clear space here of the United States as a high pressure does build in here. So that's something to pay attention to as we go on, obviously, because that means we're not going to see any big severe weather threat. But definitely what I would say is we're going to see a big temperature change when that kind of happens. So already going out throughout today, we're already seeing some temperatures over here in the Midwest into the lower 50s, into the upper 50s, maybe even into some of the mid 40s. So very, very nice temperatures going on over here. That will start to obviously cool down maybe a little bit more too for the northern United States, but start to warm up a little bit more here for the Midwest, and we'll see that over here. That will start to warm up as the top part of the United States will start to cool down. Here in the next 10 days, though, we're going to start seeing these temperatures still in Texas reaching up into the mid 80s. Not a lot of 90s at this time, so that's good news, except for just this part of the United States reaching in Arizona and Southern California. But 80s and 70s will be really one of the biggest averages here for the Southeast and Florida. So I know Florida's been waiting for this. Texas has been waiting for it as well. And then by here, probably in the next 2 weeks, we'll be seeing another big cold front kind of coming down. And that will bring some cooler temperatures eventually here. We'll have to keep updated with this. But that will bring a lot of cooler temperatures here. And you can already see possibly into the lower 40s in certain areas over here in the northern part of the United States. And then maybe even into Maine and New York could be seeing those cooler temperatures, as we've all been waiting for this in the winter. The winter time is going to be great here. We're waiting for those cooler temperatures as we've had a very, very scorching hot summer. So something to pay attention to. Let's go into the tropics here. We're not going to pay attention to this very much because nothing's too big impacting the United States or anything like that. But Tropical Storm Nadine is going to be making that landfall here in Belize pretty soon here into parts of Central America. Those tropical storm force winds are extending over here to the northern part of the storm here. That's why there's tropical storm warnings out for the Yucatan, continuing on into Belize as well. And this storm will continue to push off over to here to the west, but still only a 50-mile-an-hour tropical storm, so not a very, very strong tropical storm at all. As of the 11 a.m. advisory, Tropical Storm Oscar did form out here in the Atlantic just north of the Dominican Republic. This is the invest that we were paying attention to in our last video here. This storm will continue to push down, possibly make a little bit of a landfall here in Cuba and then race off over here to the northeast. But no matter what, this is going to bring some heavy amounts of rain over here into parts of the Cuba region and then possibly impacting the Bahamas. Late on Monday, early Tuesday, we could be seeing this impacting the Bahamas, but we're expecting this wind field to extend a little bit more. And that's why we're already especially going to be seeing some tropical storm warnings in this area right here. So something to pay attention to as we go on. Obviously, throughout the next couple of hours, we have that severe weather threat that we're going to pay attention to here in New Mexico. And then we also have that severe weather threat that we could be seeing into parts of southern Texas as well. But not just that, the temperatures are really going to start dropping here in the next 2 weeks, as we'll be seeing a little bit more of a cold front coming down. And then we will obviously see a big difference here in the tropics as we are heading closer and closer to the end of the hurricane season. And hopefully we don't have any more that do make landfall in the United States after how many we've already seen this season so far. Make sure to follow my X page down in the descriptions for the latest on the tropics, the severe weather, and your winter weather updates, as we're starting to get into that now. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and if you have any questions in the comments, just leave it in the comments down below if you have any question of the weather. And make sure to have a great rest of your day. Stay safe out there, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.